Is Ezra's Eagle dead? Despite internet claims suggesting that the recent Trump re-election has proven this prophecy false, today we explore why they were all wrong and why we believe the eagle is still alive based on a literal reading of the text. Ezra's Eagle is based on an all-around cryptic vision from the apocryphal 2nd Esdras, chapter 11 and 12. Here, a massive eagle emerges, symbolizing a powerful empire, with 3 heads, 14 feathers on the right side of the eagle, each purporting to represent a US president from Herbert Hoover to Barack Obama. 2 of the 14 are contrarian or short feathers. On the left side, there are 6 smaller contrarian short feathers. The vision foretells the rise and fall of US presidents, described as feathers, who propel the eagle's dominance as a nation. In chapter 11, 12 to 17, it says, "And I looked, and behold, on the right side there arose 1 feather, and reigned over all the earth. And so it was, that when it rained, the end of it came, and the place thereof appeared no more. So the next following stood up, and reigned, and had a great time. And it happened, that when it rained, the end of it came also, like as the first, so that it appeared no more. Then came there a voice unto it, and said, Hear thou that hast borne rule over the earth so long, this I say unto thee, before thou beginnest to appear no more, there shall none after thee attain unto thy time, neither unto the half thereof." The verses describe the rule of Franklin D. Roosevelt and marks him as the 2nd feather of the 14th US presidents, after Herbert Hoover. Each of the remaining feathers in the prophecy aligns with the timeline of the next 14 presidents, with the 2 contrarian feathers positioned in the middle of this group, as indicated by chapter 12, verse 21, "And 2 of them shall perish, the middle time approaching. 4 shall be kept until their end begin to approach, but 2 shall be kept unto the end." The definition of contrary feathers is found in 2nd Esdras 12:19-20, "And whereas thou sawest the 8 small under feathers, this is the interpretation, that in it there shall arise 8 kings, whose times shall be but small, and their years swift." From this, we see that contrarian means shortened by some unnatural event of some kind, such as assassination, being removed from office, impeached, or something else. This is true with both of the short feathers in the original 14 feathers, JFK and Nixon. Once all 14 feathers serve through Obama, the prophecy moves onto the other wing, the wing of the contrarian feathers. As we proceed, we see that 2nd Esdras 11:24-26 reads, "Then saw I also that 2 little feathers divided themselves from the 6, and remained under the eagle head that was upon the right side, for the 4 little feathers continued in their place. And I beheld, and lo, the feathers that were under the wing thought to set up themselves, and to have the rule. And I beheld, and lo, there was one set up, but shortly it appeared no more, and the second was sooner away than the first." These verses are particularly significant to the theory, as they describe 2 feathers, with the first appearing no more, and the second being sooner away than the first. Proponents of the theory interpret these as representing recent US presidents Donald Trump and Joe Biden. Verse 27 offers an intriguing insight into timing and sequence, mentioning that the second was sooner away than the first. This implies that while the first feather, interpreted as Trump, had its reign interrupted or appears no more, the second feather, interpreted as Biden, might be removed from power even before the first feather's ultimate fate is decided. This pattern could allow for non-consecutive terms of leadership by Trump, a rare occurrence, but one that does have precedent in US history. Again, to reiterate, where it says the second feather will be sooner away than the first, implies that literally he will not be around, the first contrarian feather is gone. And the only way for that to be possible is for Trump to serve non-consecutive terms, which would allow Biden to appear no more prior to Trump. If all of this is true, wouldn't Trump need to still not serve his full 2 terms to be considered a contrarian feather like other contrarian feathers before him? Well, the answer is yes. Just like President Nixon, whose second term was cut short by resignation due to the Watergate scandal, if Trump's presidency were to be cut short before January 20th, 2029, he would be considered a contrarian feather as well. Many on YouTube interpreted verse 26, "And the second was sooner away than the first," as meaning that only the length of time that Biden served would be less than Trump's time. But if we interpret it literally, sooner away from the first means that one is gone before the other. Wouldn't this mean that Biden is gone before Trump? In 2 Esdras 11:29-35, after these 2 feathers are cut short, the prophecy discusses the eagle heads. "And when they so thought, behold, there awaked one of the heads that were at rest, namely, it that was in the midst, for that was greater than the 2 other heads. And I saw that the 2 heads were joined with it. And behold, the head turned with them, and did eat up the 2 little feathers, which were under the wing that would have reigned." This passage suggests that the middle and larger head of the eagle, previously dormant, awakens and decisively removes the 2 feathers that that believed they would rule. Symbolically, this represents an internal force or authority within the nation, symbolized by the eagle intervening to prevent these two feathers from gaining power. This reflects a consolidation of power or a shift in control by the dominant head, suppressing smaller factions or leaders from gaining or maintaining influence. It serves as a metaphor for political or authoritative upheaval, where a dominant power suppresses emerging or opposing forces. Such an event could arise from scenarios like a natural disaster, war, or internal strife. The three eagle heads could represent three distinct leaders, possibly overseeing different regions within America, similar to the Armageddon Plan. This emergency contingency plan, enacted by Ronald Reagan in the 1980s, designated three leaders to be stationed across the United States during a national crisis. Alternatively, the three eagle heads might symbolize conspiring leaders capable of removing the third and fourth contrarian feathers that aspire to rule but ultimately do not. Finally, the eagle heads could represent nations, as some translations suggest. Could these be the US, China, and Russia, or perhaps Iran, China, and Russia? Ezra further explains that after the first eagle head removes the third and fourth contrarian feathers, it reigns with unprecedented oppression before dying in its bed. The second head then rules for a time before being consumed by the third head. Ultimately, the lion, representing Christ, condemns the third head, leading to its disappearance. Later, it is said that the two remaining heads are slain with the sword. After the heads disappear, the two last contrarian feathers, under the last head, are kept until the end. The lion explains why they are kept until the end in chapter 12, 2, and 30. And behold, the head that remained, and the four wings appeared no more. And the two went unto it, and set themselves up to reign. And their kingdom was small, and filled with uproar. It signifieth that these are they, whom the highest hath kept unto their end. This is the small kingdom, and full of trouble, as thou sawest. In verse 2, the phrase, the two that went unto it, refers to two leaders who went to the eagle to reign, or went to America to reign, symbolizes their attempt to gain power, while the nation is in turmoil and unrest. The lion then intervenes, leading to the destruction of the eagle and everything associated with it. However, according to verse 34, a select group of righteous individuals will be spared from this devastation. For the rest of my people shall he deliver with mercy, those that have been pressed upon my border, and he shall make them joyful until the coming of the day of judgment, whereof I have spoken unto thee from the beginning. Now, some interpretations suggest these last two feathers that reigned after the eagle heads are Antichrist and false prophet figures. To learn more about the Antichrist, view our last video here. Only time can tell. Hopefully, none of it is true, right?